Yes, we discussed about how to write down the sample space for the given event. Now, some more terms we have to discuss when we will calculate when we are writing about events there. Okay, so whatever is there that we are relating to set theory. Okay, so in that first event is impossible events. First write down the event is impossible events. As the name suggests, impossible means the event which is not possible there. So if for an example, suppose if I am tossing a coin there, if I am tossing a coin, there, what is the probability of getting a number 3? Otherwise, if you can say in 2 rupees coin 2 will come there. So when we are tossing a coin there, what is the the possibility of getting a number 3 there? Any possibility is there? No possibility. Means impossible events. The events which are not possible, they are called impossible events. So if I have to write down in set notation there, any element I can write down. Suppose if A is an impossible event, what elements will come in that impossible events? No element will be there. And usually when we are writing in set notation, no elements means that set is empty set there. So empty set is either denoted in this way, or what is the symbol for empty set? Yes, 5. Null set which we are saying there. Okay. So if impossible event is there, in terms of set notation, if we have to write, we'll write down either no element in the set, or you can rewrite it as 5 there. Okay. Then next event is sure events. Sure events. Like if I am saying you just toss a coin there, either head or tail will come. Sure. Either head will come or tail will come. That is a sure events there. Correct. If you are throwing a die there, definitely it will be a number less than 7. Definitely it will be a number less than 7. So that type of events are called sure events, and usually the sample space which we are writing, that is the example of a sure events. All the possible outcomes will come in the sample space, and if we will relate it to set theory, the sample space will be the universal set, and normally in the set theory we are denoting it by the letter U there. So sample space is nothing but the universal set. Clear? Okay. Now next definition, write down there: mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. So just write down the definition. Two events A and B. Two events A and B are said to be mutually exclusive. Two events A and B are said to be mutually exclusive if A and B are disjoint. If A and B are disjoint. If A and B are disjoint. Disjoint means separated there. So in terms of set notation, we can say if their intersection, A intersection B is equal to 5. No common element should be there in A and B. Then we will say they are mutually exclusive events. Then next event is exhaustive event. Just write down there: exhaustive. Exhaustive events. Exhaustive events. So in that, just write down: two or more events are said to be exhaustive. Two or more events are said to be exhaustive if their union is equal to S. Their union is equal to S means what is S? Sample space. If we will take the union of the events, and if we are getting the sample space, then we will say the events are exhaustive events. Clear? Okay. Now some more concepts which we studied in set theory, that we can recall all the events there. In that, first we studied about A union B. A union B, or we can say it as A or B. A union B, or you can say it as A or B. Or how we are writing A union B? Yes, set of all x such that x belongs to A or x belongs to B. A union B contains all the elements which are in A and which are in B, both. It is not necessary that it should be in both A and B. If it is there in A and if it is there in B alone, that we will write. If any common element is there, that also we can write. So A union B, or you can say it as A or B. Then next is A intersection B, or you can say it as A and B. A intersection B, or you can say it as A and B. This is equal to set of all x such that x belongs to A and x belongs to B. X belongs to A and x belongs to B means in A intersection B we have to write down the element which is common in A and B. The elements which are there in both A and B, the common element only we will write down in A intersection B. Clear? Okay. Then in your set theory this concept is omitted, so just I am giving you the idea of how to write down this one. A dash is called a complement. A complement is denoted by A dash there. And how to write down a complement? Set of all x such that x does not belongs to A. The element in A dash means that elements will come which are not there in A. That is called a complement. It is denoted by A dash. A dash is equal to set of all x such that x does not belongs to A. So the elements which are not there in A, that we can write down in A dash. And then next one we studied about A minus B. A minus B. A minus B, how we are writing? Set of all x such that x belongs to A, but x does not belongs to B. So you have to write that element only which is there only in A. If any element is there in A and it is there in B also, so that element we will not write down there. So we can write down there x does not belongs to B. So here only if the element does not belongs to B, then where x belongs? Yes, x belongs to B dash there. So A minus B can be written in this way also. A intersection B dash. A minus B can be written in this way also. A intersection B dash, because we are writing that element only which is there in A but which is not there in B. So if it is not there in B, then obviously it will be in B dash there. So that's why A minus B can be written in this way also. A intersection B dash. So once again we can revise what are the things we studied. Yes, first we studied about impossible events. What are impossible events? Yes, which is not possible there. So how many elements will be there in impossible events? No elements will be there. So that we are denoting it as 5 there. Then we studied about sure events. So sure events means which is obvious there, that event will be going to happen there. So usually sample space is the example of a sure events. Then mutually exclusive events. So when you are writing two sets, if their intersection is 5, then we will say they are mutually exclusive. And then exhaustive events. You have to write down the events and you have to take the union there. If their union is equal to the whole sample space, then we will say the events are exhaustive events. Then A union B. Set of all x such that x belongs to A or x belongs to B. A intersection B. In that we have to write down that element which is common to both A and B. Then A dash. A dash means a set of all x. The elements which are not there in A, that will come in A dash. Then A minus B. Set of all x such that x should be there in A but x should not be there in B. So if x is not there in B, then x will be in B dash. That's why we wrote it as A intersection B dash. So all these definition and properties are clear to you. Okay, now we can check the question. How to do the question based on this. So write down the question there. Two coins are tossed together. Two coins are tossed together. Describe the following events. Two coins are tossed together. Describe the following events. So just write down the events there. A denotes the event of getting two heads. A is equal to getting two heads. B, describe the events getting at least one head. B denotes the event getting at least one head. Then C denotes the event getting two tails. C denotes the event of getting two tails. Then D is at most one head. At most one head. Then E is denotes the event at least two heads. At least two heads. At least two heads. And F denotes the event at most two heads. At most two heads. At most two heads. And G denotes the event one head. Getting one head. And then write down the question. It is written, are B and C mutually exclusive? Are B and C mutually exclusive? Second one, are C and F exhaustive events? Are C and F exhaustive events? Also find, it is written also find A union B, A intersection B, D minus F intersection C dash, then we have to calculate D dash, and then G intersection D dash. First, what we have to do, we'll write down what will be the events there. Now here, what is the event occur here? Two coins are tossed together. So it will be easy for you. First you can write down what will be the sample space for the given event. Two coins are tossed together. So if two coins are tossed together, first we can write down what will be the possible outcomes. Head, or it can be tail head, or it can be head tail, or it can be tail. So these are the possible outcomes. So that we wrote as a sample space. Now we can define the events there. First it is written there A. In set A we can check how many elements will be there. Two heads there. So two heads, how many times it is coming? One time only. So A denotes only one element, that is head. So in the event which describe only one element, they are called simple events. In which only one element is there, that type of events are called simple events. And in which more than one element are there, they are called compound events. Okay. So in the set in which only one element is there, that type of events are called simple events. Otherwise they will be called as compound events. So the set A we got. Then what is written? Set B. In set B we have getting at least one head. At least one head. What is the meaning of that? Either one or more than one. So at least one, minimum one head should be there. So if it is minimum, like in the examination, if minimum passing mark out of 10 is 5. So if you got 5 marks, you are pass or fail? Pass. If you got 8 marks, means what is that? You are passed. If you have got 10 marks, then also you are passed there. So if it is given at least, meaning you have to take that condition and more than that also. So at least one head means either one head or more than one head. All the possibilities we have to write. So all these will come there. So just write down there. Either it can be head, tail head, or HT. So in the set B, these possibilities are there. Then C is written there, two tails. So two tails I think we are getting one time only. So C also is an example of simple events. Then D, what we wrote there? At most one head. At most one head. What is the meaning of that? In the examination, if passing mark is at most, meaning maximum there. If passing mark is 100, what are the possibilities? What are the possible marks you can get? You can get either 100 or less than 100. So same concept here. At most one head means either we have to take one head or less than one head. Less than one head means what will come? 0 head will come. So we have to write all the cases in which one head is there and no head is there. So what are the possibilities? TH, HT or TT. Okay. Then next what is written? E. E we can check there. E is written at least 2 heads. At least 2 heads meaning what? Either 2 head or more than 2 head. So whether we have at least 2 head means we have only one possibility, that is H. Okay. Then next is written F. At most 2 heads. So again I said at most meaning either 2 or less than that. So what will come in F there? Either 2 head will be there or 1 head will be there or no head will be there. So F will be same as the sample space. Correct? The set F same as the sample space. Then G is written 1 head here. So here I can write down what will be the set G. So you have to write down that element only in which 1 head is there. So this one there. So either HT will come or TH will come. So we wrote all the elements there. Okay. Now we can check the question. What is the first question written? Are B and C mutually exclusive? So first you have to check what is the meaning of mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means if their intersection is equal to 5, then we can say they are mutually exclusive. So just to check here, this is B and this is C there. HH, TH, HT, and here we have TT only. Any common element is there in both the sets? No. So you can write down there B intersection C is equal to 5. Therefore, B and C are mutually exclusive. If their intersection is 5 means they are mutually exclusive. Then in this only second one is written, are C and F exhaustive events? Are C and F exhaustive event? C, where is C? And here we have F there. So according to the definition of exhaustive events, if their union is equal to the whole sample space. So if we will write down C union F, already F described the whole sample space. So all elements will come HH, HT, TH, TT. So this is equal to whole sample space S. So you can write down there, yes, they are mutually exhaustive. They are mutually exhaustive. So is it clear how to calculate whether the events are mutually exclusive or exhaustive? Mutually exhaustive, don't want their exhaustive events. Now it is written, also find A union B, A intersection B, everything. Now we can check what will be A union B. So according to the definition, what is A union B? We have to write down the element which is there in A alone or B alone there. So if you will write, what will come? Only head is not there. So all elements will come HH, HT, TH. TT is not there. So A union B will be equal to this one. Then what we need? Yes, we need A intersection B. So the element which is common in A and B. Any element which is common in A and B, this is a single element there. Okay. So when you are checking, you have to check this is HH is the element there. So I think HH is common there. So you can write down here A intersection B is equal to HH. Then we have to find D minus F. D minus F. So the element which is there in D but which is not there in F there. The element which is there in D but which is not there in F there. So just to check here, TH we have in D but TH we have in F also. So that we cannot come. HT, here also HT is there. TT, in that also TT is there. So any element will come in D minus F? No. So you can write down there D minus F is a null set. So either you can use this symbol or you can write down there 5. Then what we have to calculate? F intersection C dash. So it is better first only we can write what will be C dash. So just to check whether we wrote what is C there. Yes, C is TT. So except TT, rest all the element will belong to C dash. So C dash will be equal to HH, TH and HT. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate F intersection C dash. F intersection C dash. So the element which is common in F and C dash. So I think all these three are common there. So you can write down there HH, HT and TH. So that is F intersection C dash. Then next what we want? Yes, we need D dash there. D dash. So element which is not there in D. So just checking D dash which will come. TH, HT and TT is there. So only HH is not there. So in D dash only one element will be there, that is HH. Now what we have to calculate? Yes, we have to calculate G intersection D dash. G intersection D dash. I think G I left there. So once again I am writing there. G was getting one head, means that is either HT or TH. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate G intersection D dash. G intersection D dash. So just to check there, this is G and this is D dash. Anything is common in G and D dash? No element is common there. So you can write down this is a null set, or you can denote it by 5. So I think it is clear how to check. The events are mutually exclusive and exhaustive, and how to find out their union, intersection, their differences. Okay, so all of you, I am giving you just one question, so you can do that question. Okay, exercise 16.2, question number 2. Exercise 16.2, question number 2. Exercise 16.1 already I gave there. So in that you don't have to write down the question, just write down the sample space, and in exercise 16.2, question number 2. So do the question, and if you have any doubt you can ask. Thank you.